Hello, awesome admin staff. Simon here, just wanting to give you all a bit of an update and sort of give you some basic information and also give you a bit of a snapshot into 2021. I'm going to give you some insight scoop on Vision Day and a few things that I just want to start seeding, particularly with you guys, as you are the front line and a critical aspect of what we are doing at Attune. Firstly, I just want to say thank you for the incredible work you've done. I don't think people recognise just the complexity of the issues you have to deal with, the situations you have to confront, and you guys have all done it with incredible grace and love, and really have gone above and beyond. And so I just want to thank you firstly for that. I recognise what it is that you guys are actually doing. No one's really done what you have to do. The scope, the breadth of knowledge that you have to have, an understanding of everything that's going on in Attune. But that's what makes Attune so unique, is that we don't do things like other businesses, but that does mean, and I recognise that does mean, that there is extra pressure and extra responsibility that are on your shoulders that you need to navigate and work through. And hence why I want to give you this video and give you a few of my thoughts just to help you understand and frame a little bit of what I'm thinking. So firstly, thank you. It's been amazing to see you do what you've done, and our business is what it is because of the incredible work that you do. Just to give you a bit of an insight scoop on next year and Vision Day, I'm going to tell you the actual, I suppose if you like, the vision. I don't tend to do this, but I just want to get you guys on the same page a little bit, and even starting to think now, because I see there's a significant aspect of what you guys are doing that's really important when it comes to 2021 and our vision. As you know, last year the vision was legacy, and you guys are assisting us in developing a legacy that will really resonate for many years to come, and you are paving a way. You are making new systems, making new ways. There is no one really that does what you are doing in healthcare in terms of the scope of bringing it all together. It's very much siloed. And the pressure is on you guys to understand everything, which is unique. And so I recognise that. But the theme for 2021 is to spur each other on. And I recognise that, when you've got, I love my sport, when you've got a football team, that there's a home ground advantage that comes with being at home. Why is that? Well, you've got more supporters, they are spurring those players on to do better. And statistics would say that if you have a team of equal status to you, 62% more likely to win at a home game because you're being spurred on, you've been encouraged, you've been, not necessarily encouraged, but irritated to do even better because you've got all these people around you. And so that is what 2021 is going to be all about. It's actually going to be about spurring one another on. And that brings me to probably the first point that I wanted to share with you, and that is around the whole philosophy of Attune. Now, as I mentioned in other businesses, what other businesses will do is will say, well, this is Attune and this is such and such, and it's very much segregated and there's very much known parameters. Now, at Attune, everybody who works in this building is part of Attune, and that's the first thing that's really important. It's hard to get your mind around, but for example, Troy's business, even though it is a separate business in some forms, you might say they're a tenant. I don't even look at it like that. They're a part of Attune. They just function in a different way. Now, they will contribute to reception costs over time, as many of the others will. So will the dentist, so will Health Pantry. There is multiple people that are in this building, but the whole philosophy of Attune is that we integrate. It means that we embrace each other, we work with one another, we help one another, and so that means that as reception, you guys are responsible in some form for their business and ensuring that customers know what's going on. And so I know there's a little bit of not sure about this, and it's all been new, and I totally understand that. But as we move forward, what I'm going to encourage you all to do is know what's going on in all those other businesses. And if you don't know, to find out. We're trying to close that gap and bring you information. But look, there's lots of things that we haven't done or communicated as well as we could, and that's just because of the scope and size of everything. However, when it comes to the customer that walks through the door, the experience I want them to have is that we are integrated. We all work together. We all support one another. And in that way, you understanding what's going on and how the systems work and what is happening is really, really important, because that gives them the front that Attune is one organisation. And so we're going to be working in the background on helping you and informing you of all those things and making systems better. One of the things I'm already considering long term is having an extra receptionist that will also be supporting you guys, but they'll be employed by United Health Services to support that whole integration. But really, you can't have one person doing that. We really need the whole team doing that. But I recognise that the increased workload that you have and the complexity you have is making your world a lot more difficult. So we need to get you extra support, so which we're doing. But in the short term, what I'm really hoping is just to shift your mindset. Attune is very different in the way that we do things, and so therefore I want that mindset to be about everybody, and we spur one another and help one another. And so that's the first thing that I just wanted to highlight with you. I know that that's a bit of a shift, and we'll talk a lot about that more in Vision Day in 2021. But I recognise from now until then, there's going to be a lot of things that pop up, and they're already popping up, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you when you say, you know, these are a problem or this is happening. I need to know those things. I need to know how we can actually work those through, and so that's what I want to do. But I'm going to need you to actually feed back to me over the coming months so that we can actually close some of those gaps off and work out how we actually administer what it is that we see. So that's point number one. Everyone at Attune works for Attune. The second thing is that I'm hearing a little bit, and that's because of the increased volume of things, that sorry, we can't help you. Now, we've done some training in the past, and there is something about having a negative or a positive outcome in conversations. And so I want you to think about your conversations with the clients particularly, and when they ring up and say, I want to see a GP, rather than saying, sorry, we can't help you, which is a negative outcome, what we're looking for is for you to say, so that, you know, they want to see Emma. At the moment, Emma doesn't have any appointments. However, we recognise that you know, our service, our GP service, is very sought after, and we have 3 or 4 GPs coming next year. I can put you on a waiting list for them, or I can do this, or I can do that. So what has happened in that instance is, rather than saying, sorry, we can't help you, what you've given is given 3 or 4 options, which are of the positive side and not the negative side. So it's just about the way that you communicate. And I recognise that we have been flat stick. We've had physio restrictions that we couldn't put people in, and so it's been very difficult, and you've got lots happening. And sometimes it's easy just to say, sorry, we can't help you. But part of the culture that we want to be able to provide is options for people. That means there's a little bit extra time that you need to take, and I recognise that your time is precious. But if we can have that positive outcome rather than a negative outcome, that's really going to help in terms of the service that we provide. And that leads me to the third point. We've been nominated and are being nominated and will nominate for a multitude of awards next year. There are multiple things that are happening. So it's going to be, we're going to have people coming through the door. So we're going to have people ringing up. They're going to be mystery shoppers, if you like. They're going to be assessing our business on what is happening. And so I just want you all to be aware that that's going to be happening. I'll talk a lot more about that as those awards start to come forward. But our service, which you guys do, is absolutely incredible, is really, really important. And just some of these little things really make Attune very different. And if we can continue to push forward in that, it's going to differentiate, it's going to diversify, it's going to showcase that difference that Attune is when it comes to the health system. But we recognise that you guys are the front line, and it starts with you. Hence why I wanted to start this process now with you and start having those conversations and work through what we need to get you guys comfortable with where we're headed. We're also going to do multiple surveys coming up in January. We're going to do staff surveys, we're going to do client surveys, and so we're going to be getting them to assess us so we can know where those gaps are. But also some of those statistics are going to be very vital in the awards that we're going to be doing. And finally, I just want to say thanks. I've been seeing some incredible things, and I've heard some amazing things from both practitioners and clients about the service you guys have provided. I constantly get told how well you're doing. I've had a lot of practitioners say that work that you've done has gone above and beyond, and we appreciate that. And I recognise the incredible complexity that you're having to juggle, hence why I'm going to sit on the desk a little bit, not because you're doing a bad job, but because I need to understand the pressures that you're under so we can better help facilitate, as Maria does as well, how we can support you and your work. So I just want to say thank you. We want to spur you on to incredible things, and I just want to leave you with this. You know, as I mentioned at the Christmas party, you know, we are doing some very unique things, and people are going to look back on what we did here at Attune, and I think it's going to be that, wow, you are a part of that. But what I want you girls to recognise is you are breaking ground when it comes to administration of healthcare, of bringing things together, and what you are doing and what you are creating is new. It is different, but it also is groundbreaking. And I believe that in years to come, some of the systems, some of the ways we've done things that are so different are actually going to become the norm, but they're not at the moment. So you are paving and creating something that is unique. And whether you recognise that or not, whether you see that or not, I want you to know that what we are doing is unique, and you are doing something that is very much out of the box. But it will, I believe, become a benchmark for many other practices in years to come. So just know that it might get messy and it's not always smooth, but when we're doing something innovative, that's what happens. But there will be the reward in years to come that people will talk about what it is that you guys have done and how you've created the systems to make Attune work. So thanks again. I hope that gives you a little bit of an insight, and I'm really wanting to work with you guys over the coming months to really bring together some support for you to ensure that you can do your job even better. So thanks so much. Have a great day.